Did you ever walk when your feet were tired? Did you ever walk when the road was gone? Did you ever sing when your heart was aching? Did you ever sing just 'cause there's a song? I will walk, and I will sing, and I will bring a little courage for the morning, bring a little courage for the day. Did you ever laugh when all hope was lost? Did you ever laugh just to ease the pain? Did you ever weep till the tears were gone? Did you ever weep teardrops like rain? I will laugh, and I will weep, I will bring a little courage for the morning, bring a little courage for the day. Did you ever stand when the rest was silent? Did you ever stand a million strong? Did you ever dream in the darkest hour? Did you ever dream right to change the wrong? I will stand, and I will dream, and I will bring a little courage for the morning, bring a little courage for the day. I will walk, and I will sing, and I will laugh, and I will weep, and I will stand, and I will dream, and I will bring a little courage for the morning, bring a little courage for the day.
Welcome to this virtual service of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Waynesboro. This is our last online-only service of the COVID closure of our buildings. Next Sunday, June 13th, we will meet in person at the Pavilion in Waynesboro's Constitution Park for our annual meeting, which we will precede by a brief worshipful time and follow by a bring-your-own brown bag lunch. We look forward to seeing each other face-to-face then. On June 20th, we will gather in our fellowship hall at 565 Pine Avenue for our first Sunday back in our own space since March 8th, 15 months ago. In the back of our gray hymnal, we find these words by Kenneth Patton. We arrive out of many singular rooms, walking over the branching streets. We come to be assured that brothers and sisters surround us to restore their images on our eyes. We enlarge our voices in common speaking and singing. We try again that solitude found in the midst of those who with us seek their hidden reckonings. Our eyes reclaim the remembered faces, their voices stir the surrounding air. The warmth of their hands assures us and the gladness of our spoken names. This is the reason of cities, of homes, of assemblies in the houses of worship. It is good to be with one another. It will be good to be back together in the park next Sunday and again in our fellowship hall on the 20th. And today it is also good to be together in spirit as we engage our minds and hearts in this last regular virtual service. Welcome. My name is Marilyn Nash. I've been a member of this fellowship since 1996. If you are visiting and are interested in this organization or in Unitarian Universalism, I invite you to get the contact information for the membership team or our minister from the slide at the end of the service and ask your questions. This fellowship is a welcoming congregation that is written with a capital W and a capital C and signifies a commitment this congregation voted to make in 2004. As a welcoming congregation, we have committed to the full inclusion in every aspect of our life and leadership of the lives and relationships of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender people, to all people whose sexual orientation or gender identity or gender expressions are different from the cisgender heterosexual norms of society. We intend for our welcome to go beyond those promises we made. We want to break down barriers and live the values of inclusion expressed by Edwin Markham in this little poem. He drew a circle that shut me out, heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. Labels you choose for yourself, that others put upon you, or that you have inherited as your heritage. Let us celebrate these differences and build a stronger, more loving community than we have known before. Race, class, educational level, profession, political perspective, these differences among us will bring us joy and strength. Let us come into this time of worship as we light the chalice of our hearts with these words by David Breeden. Religious leaders at Multi-Faith Turning Toward Truth service, we light this chalice, remembering and honoring our own tradition and celebrating the rich diversity of traditions among us. As we search for justice, meaning, and purpose, may we remember that justice, meaning, and purpose live first in deeply listening to one another. Welcome.
When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace. When our heart is in a holy place, when we trust the wisdom in each of us, every color, every creed and kind, and we see our faces in each other's eyes, then our heart is in a holy place. when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place. We are blessed with love and amazing grace, when our heart is in a holy place. When we tell a story from deep inside, and we listen with a loving mind, and we hear our voices in each other's words, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace, when our heart is in a holy place. When we share the silence of sacred space, and the God of our heart stirs within, and we feel the power of each other's faith, then our heart is in a holy place. When our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place, we are blessed with love and amazing grace, when our heart is in a holy place, when our heart is in a holy place.
Our words of prayer this morning are from a poem by E. E. Cummings. I thank you, God, for this most amazing day, for the leaping greenly spirits of trees, and of a blue, true dream of sky, and for everything which is natural, which is infinite, which is yes. I who have died am alive again today, and this is the sun's birthday. This is the birthday of life and of love and wings and of the gay, great, happening, illimitably earth. How should tasting, touching, hearing, seeing, breathing, any lifted from the know of all nothing, human merely being, doubt unimaginable you? Now the ears of my ears awake, and now the eyes of my eyes are opened. We come together virtually this last time before gathering in person next week, recognizing and holding in our hearts the joys and sorrows of this caring community. Marty Baker is grateful for the many members of this congregation who have been helping her and her husband Dave as Dave prepares for open heart surgery this week, and all those who have committed to continue helping through the process of recovery. Let us hold them both in our thoughts, our hearts, our prayers, however you speak to what is beyond yourself. And let us hold all unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts together quietly.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
We Never Know Who We Are by Margaret Wheatley. We never know who we are. This is strange, isn't it? Or what vows we made, or who we knew, or what we hoped for, or where we were when the world's dreams were seeded. Until the day just one of us sighs a gentle longing, and we all feel the change. One of us calls a name, and we all know to be there. One of us tells a dream, and we all breathe life into it. One of us asks why, and we all know the answer. It is very strange. We never know who we are.
Recently, a minister colleague of mine was discussing what he would be focusing on during Pride Month. And he was interested in exploring the theological impact of non-binary gender. What difference does it make to our view of what is ultimate when we see the self as not limited to only two possibilities of gender? And suddenly I found myself with a case of academic envy. There's a whole field of theological thinking known as queer theology that uses deep research and insights from queer experience to rethink everything we think about the important questions often bundled together in that package we refer to as theology. I mean, my experience as a gay man certainly informs my theology and my spirituality, but I am not thinking of it in a deeply researched way. It's more that contact spirituality, that impulse spirituality, rather than academic theology, not in a deeply researched way. I am not gay because I have studied how being gay impacts ways of seeing the world. I am just not terribly concerned about grounding myself in this kind of specifically oriented theology, but I envy those who can organize their thoughts that way, queering the text, as the lingo renders it. And as I was thinking about this, I realized that this quest, whether we individually embark on it or not, is related to the fourth principle of the Unitarian Universalist Association. We, the member congregations of the Unitarian Universalist Association, covenant to affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. I've told you before that when I became a Unitarian Universalist, this was the principle that didn't seem very important to me at all. I really disliked this principle. I mean, I'd spent 20 adult years away from religion before I made my way to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Mount Vernon, Illinois, where I found a kind of religion that worked for me, but I didn't come in seeking. I wasn't trying to figure things out. Over the 5 years before joining, I had done extensive research and thinking that resulted in a 6-page, overblown personal credo about all manner of stuff. I certainly was willing to evolve in my thinking, but I knew where I was at that given moment in my evolution, and I was not seeking. A principle that committed Unitarian Universalist congregations to affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, at that point, made me yawn. And a principle that some people have taken to mean that we are obligated to be constantly seeking outright annoyed me. Of course, the principle is not a commandment to be seekers. Rather, it is a commitment to support any seeking that we or others may find a need to do as free minds and souls, so long as it is done responsibly. All well and good. And it is very important to our tradition that we not put ourselves in the position of knowing, deeply and permanently knowing anything. We are a non-creedal faith. We aren't looking for the definitive list of what we all believe, but truth and meaning as directions or orientations of our movement, a direction and a goal that calls for some level of seeking rather than knowing. In the back of our hymnal, there is a reading by 20th century Unitarian Universalist educator Sophia Lyon-Fahs that goes like this. It matters what we believe. Some beliefs are like walled gardens. They encourage exclusiveness and the feeling of being especially privileged. Other beliefs are expansive and lead the way into wider and deeper sympathies. Some beliefs are like shadows, clouding children's days and fears of unknown calamities. Other beliefs are like sunshine, blessing children with the warmth of happiness. Some beliefs are divisive, separating saved from unsaved, friends from enemies. Other beliefs are bonds in a world community where sincere differences beautify the pattern. Some beliefs are like blinders, shutting off the power to choose one's own direction. Other beliefs are like gateways, opening wide vistas for exploration. Some beliefs weaken a person's selfhood. They blight the growth of resourcefulness. Other beliefs nurture self-confidence and enrich the feeling of personal worth. Some beliefs are rigid, like the body of death, impotent in a changing world. Other beliefs are pliable, like the young sapling, overgrowing with the upward thrust of life. It matters what we believe. Now, I've told you before that I both love that and don't completely accept it. For me, it is a matter of how you believe more than what you believe. Even within the same traditionally religious body, you will have some who use their belief to build beloved community, an inclusive world that values all. And at the same time, right next to them are others who have identical beliefs, for example, about the question of who God is, or what the mission of Jesus was or wasn't. There are those who will use those beliefs to maintain a society that excludes and endangers people at the edges or people with different identities. The same belief in a creedal sense, but held very differently, producing a distinctly different faith. What do you believe? I'm tempted to say it doesn't even matter what I believe, but it does matter how I believe whatever it is that I believe. What is the nature of the faith and of the life that my manner of believing or not believing points me toward? Now, just about every Unitarian Universalist values freedom dearly. Many of us were raised in traditions where we didn't feel we had very much freedom, or certainly weren't allowed to express it. But not everyone values responsibility as much. Yeah, there are people who want others to be responsible, and there are people who believe they are responsible. The responsibility, searching for truth and justice in our tradition requires that we have the impact on the interdependent web in view at all times, not just the worth and dignity of ourselves as individuals apart from that interdependent community. A responsible search for truth and meaning is always a deeply communal thing. This is the pairing of the paradoxical, mutually supportive, competing first and seventh principles of our association. The inherent worth and dignity of every individual can only bear its natural fruit in community, free, in community, committed, in relationship. Freedom is, in this sense, a properly unhindered existence of the individual, while responsibility is a function of the ways we are interdependent with each other and the larger world. This is particularly important at this time in Unitarian Universalism, right when we're on the cusp of eighth principle decision making, right when we're making explicit commitments that we reached toward in earlier times to increase justice in the world. There is an ill-defined group who are insisting that they only understand, that only they understand what is really going on, and who organize themselves loosely to claim that the UUA and its congregations, primarily in our efforts to grow justice and dismantle racism and other oppressions, is going down an anti-democratic path that they do not approve of. And if you hear of the so-called Fifth Principle Project, what you're hearing about is a group who would overthrow democratic process aimed at increasing justice in the world. If you are watching the UU setting closely, you have seen angry white people, angry white men, but not just men, who are determined to maintain their power and try to use process to achieve their aims in limiting the growth of justice. This year at General Assembly, there is a slate of people nominated for governance positions. And these people have been selected by the nominating committee, which was itself voted into position. They've been vetted carefully, and then there is another self-nominated person who managed to get enough sympathetic people to get a nomination by petition, and he's challenging a vetted nominee. And this person, this self-nominated person, is someone who takes a reactionary position against the justice efforts of the UUA. This person supports the approach that tries to put the brakes on the justice efforts of our movement. Now, there's plenty of room for difference of opinion, difference of procedure, and individual difference in our movement. But our search for truth and meaning, our quest for direction, has to be grounded in an orientation toward beloved community. And yes, we as individuals value our freedom, but only to this effect that it's freedom for all, not just people with certain levels of power and historical influence. And it must be responsible to the whole community. We covenant then to affirm and promote the meaning-making and truth-ascribing actions of free individuals in right relationship with each other, seeking greater justice for all. Without right relationship and a growing, expanding sense of justice and requirements, it is not truth and meaning we will achieve. The broader your circles of interdependence and right relationship, the greater chance you have of parlaying the power of your freedom into a core of truth, meaning, and value. So let us take this principle to heart, and let us cherish the responsible search instead of the will to power. Amen, and blessed be.
We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing. We will not stop singing till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching. We will not stop marching till the world can hear the song, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing along. Till the world can sing, till the world can sing, till the world can sing.